Hey guys, today we are going to say about RDS, which is Relational Database Service. Okay, this is the service we use for storing the relational database. So I'm going to show you the list of database we can create in RDS. We can see by clicking the create database. So I would separate this like Aurora, which is AWS proprietary database, which is compatible with MySQL and PostgreSQL. So that has a lot of the features like serverless, auto failover, multiple backup. So it's because of the AWS product, it has a lot of features and it is compatible with MySQL and PostgreSQL. And so it doesn't have comes with the free tier. So just know this Aurora is most featured database in RDS. Okay, so here we are going to choose MySQL. Here you can see you can choose different types of engine type. Okay, so in Aurora we can choose two types of engine. One is MySQL, one is Postgres, and we can also separate MySQL, choose MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2. So yeah, here I wanted to tell you that you have RDS custom option for Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server, that you can have option to access the underlying instance. Means you can SSH the Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle RDS, which once we create this you can modify and it would be a RDS custom. Okay, so we are going to choose MySQL 8.0.35, and yeah, we can choose production, dev test or free tier. So it will give you already defined template, but we are going to choose production to show the options, but I'm going to create with a free tier. Okay, so when you choose production, you have options to create, choose the deployment option, DB cluster, DB instance, and single DB instance. Okay, when you choose multi AZ DB cluster, you will have multi AZ DB along with other DB as a read replica, which means you can route the read related operations to the read instance, so there you won't get any load issue. Okay, and when you choose multi AZ DB instance type, it will have standby DB instance in different AZ for failover, but it doesn't come support the read workloads. Like you don't have you can't use a standby instance as a read workload. Okay, so it just serve like a failover, but it doesn't comes with like high availability like read replica that you can have separate load in read databases. Okay, so and single DB instance, at name suggest it just create a single DB instance in one AZ. So since this is just a demo, I'm going to choose single DB instance, and you can provide a DB instance identifier, and I'm going to provide a master user name. This is root user, the server level, instance level, or a server level user. Okay, not the DB. So this is admin user, and I'm going to you can choose secret manager to store the credentials, or you can choose self-managed. I'm going to choose self-managed, but in production it is suggested to use AWS secret manager. Okay, so here you can provide a master password and confirm the password, but I'm going to select auto generator so that I can take it the generated password. Okay, so instance configuration, yeah, you can provide different types of instance type class. So here you can see three types of instance class, and T classes are in buzzable classes. So since I'm going to use free tier, I'm going to choose T3 micro. And yeah, storage, even you can select different types of storage here. Okay, so general purpose 2, 3 and IO 1. So for free tier, I'm going to choose GP2. I'm going to allocate minimum 20 GB. And yeah, you can also have auto scaling, storage auto scaling. It can, scale up to the maximum storage threshold, but I'm not going to enable this for now. I'm going to disable this. And there is a new option, which is connectivity to the EC2 instance. If you have any EC2 instance that you need to connect to this RDS, you don't have to go through multiple security groups configuration, adding ports, those kind of things. Configuration you don't need to do manually. If you choose connect EC2 and choose that EC2 instance, by default when you create a RDS, those connection will be automatically added to the security groups of EC2 and RDS. Okay, so I'm not going to connect with EC2, so I'm going to choose this. And VPC, that I'm going to choose VPC that I created, demo VPC. And subnet group. Yeah, so if you have a subnet group already, usually you can create here, like in left side panel you can see subnet group. You can open this and choose your subnet group, because so this VPC is custom VPC that I have different types of subnet group, right? So one is private and public. So if you don't have any subnet group, when you create at the first time, RDS will create the subnet group with the available subnets, which means it will choose private as well. So at that time, if you try to connect the RDS, which you wanted to be public, if it is in private subnet, you can't connect it. So for that purpose, you need to create subnets prior to creating RDS. Okay, so I have created with the public subnets, uh, and when I creating RDS, I'm choosing that subnet group. Okay, so I'm going to access this RDS publicly, so I'm enabling public access, yes. But in real project, it would be good or recommended to have it in private. Okay, since the backend application is going to access, only the backend application is going to have access the RDS, it is great, recommended to use in private. So for demo purpose, I'm going to enable yes for public access. And security group, so you can choose the existing one or create new. I'm going to choose the um, existing one. Okay, so we'll do no preference. So additional configuration port, you can add, and you can have different port, but default is 330, so I'm going to leave that. No tag optional. So there is different types of authentication as well for your database, like password authentication, the normal password. You can also have IAM database and password authentication, and also you can have password and Kerberos authentication. Okay, so I'm going to choose password authentication. Okay, monitoring, you can enable enhanced monitoring. Okay, but I'm not going to enable that. So additional configuration, you can have initial database, so that you can at least check the database. So I'm going to give my DB. So parameter group, you can choose default parameter group, or you can have custom parameter group. These are all DB related parameter group, engine specific engine related parameter group. So you can enable automated backups, right? So you can have backup which is a snapshot. It will have a retention period from 1 to 35, but I'm not going to enable that. So yeah, you can enable encryption or disable it, but I'm going to enable it with the default key, RDS key. And also you can export the logs, RDS logs to CloudWatch, like audit, error, general, slow query log. But yeah, it will give you more visibility on the RDS related stuff. So but I'm not going to choose that. Yeah, this is maintenance, like different types of versions. AWS will upgrade the versions like 8.0, 3.5, 3.6, like patch version or the minor version. Okay, so you can choose the window, maintenance window, or you can choose no preference, that whenever it is available it will trigger to update the versions. But you can choose the window. So the recommended is not choosing the window, but for now I'm going to choose no preference. And enable deletion protection, it will you know protect the RDS accidentally deleting. Yes, I'm not going to enable this. So at the end you can see the monthly estimated cost. Okay, so since I choose production, it's showing this cost, but since T3 micros comes with free tier, it will be free for a month. So I'm going to choose free tier here. Yeah. Okay, so if you choose free tier, it will choose based on the free tier, right? So it choose single DB instance, and remaining all are same that I choose. And it choose to D4G micro for a free tier, and storage is same and everything is same, right? You just change the instance type. Okay, I'm going to create this DB. Click create database. Yeah, now it's creating. It will take some time. We will check after once it's created. Yeah, DB has been created. So and if I click view connection details, I can get the username, password, endpoint. So I'm going to note down this password. Yeah, I have noted down the details. So you can click close. And once you close this, pop up, right? View connection details pop up. You can't get that credentials again. So only close this once you noted down the details. Okay, password details. So I'm going to click this. If you click this database, you can see the details: endpoint, ports, networking. Okay, even the security group. So I'm going to check that security group. Yeah, this is the security group, and if I check the security group, I see I have enabled the MySQL port. Okay, now go to RDS. Okay, so I have noted down the database details. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the client. Like you can use MySQL Workbench or a DBWare or whatever client you have. Okay, so I'm going to use DBWare to connect this database. Okay, yeah, I have opened the DBWare. So this is open source. You can download it from Chrome, and it can be used for any DB connection. Okay, so click database, click new database connection, and you can choose different types of database here. That's the advantage of using DBware, but I'm going to choose MySQL. Click next. Okay, here you can see server host. Here by default it's localhost, so here you need to remove the localhost and paste the endpoint that you took it from RDS. Okay, so this is the endpoint and I'm going to paste that endpoint. And so master username is admin, right? So I'm going to keep admin, and in password I'm going to provide the password that I got it from RDS. Copy, paste. So you can test the connection. Yeah, connected. So click OK and finish. So here you can see the database that we added. Okay, So we can double click this to check the database. Yeah, if you click database, you can see all of the databases in this DB instance. Here you can see my DB that I created. Okay, so what I'm going to choose, SQL editor, new SQL script. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the DB that I created. For that, use my DB. Okay, run. So now I'm using that DB, and then I'm going to create on table. Okay, so persons table, so that we can add data in this DB. Okay, so this is the query that I'm going to use. Select this and run. So yeah, so we can check the table. So select from the table name colon. So if I choose this and run this, yeah, I'm able to see the table. So we can write insert into query to add the details in this table. Okay, so now we are able to access our DB instance and DB as well. We can have multiple DB, which is called a schema. Okay, so I have access to one schema called MyDB, which is my DB, and then I used the DB and created a table called persons, and I fetched that persons table. Okay, so that's it for this lesson, guys. Thank you.